Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Married to Medicine. It's season 10 and only episode 3, y'all. And they've been giving us content. How y'all been enjoying the show this season? Quite a difference from last year, right? Lord, let's get into this, but I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also share this video. You can also give comments towards my commentary also. But here we go. They give us a flash forward to the pamper party, and then then they back it up to 4 days before the actual party. There's a bunch of interludes. One is including Toya is talking with Sweet Tea. She says that I and Phaedra, that's important, have gotten you a pamper party, and Cecil and Eugene are planning a bachelor party for Dr. Greg. So it's not so much like a bachelorette party per se. It's just going to be something that she's going to need, especially in times like these. All right, so our first real scene is with Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie. They're having lunch. And of course, as many has commented, that it's good to see Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone in a good place. They're able to give their friendship as it has always been. They start talking about patients. I'm so glad they actually talk about that. And they got stuff to talk about, real life. It's not made up. And I think a lot of these reality shows are failing. Talk like you would really talk in normal life. I mean, some things got to be heightened for television. I get that. But my God, it's the stuff that we know that you're making up just to have conversation with people that you don't know. And I also think that that is a failure because of so many shows are just putting people together who are not friends. So they got to make up stuff because they're not even friends off camera. And you can see it on camera. So they start talking about, Dr. Jackie talks about a patient that she was seeing. The patient thought that she had a yeast infection. And she was saying all these different medications weren't working. And Dr. Jackie said, that's not yeast infection. That's an STI. The girl started going off only because she's like, no, that's not, but not too much going off, but like, oh, no, none of this is going on there. Like, you might want to get yourself checked out in this way. Dr. Jackie says, you got to really tell these people the truth and just deal with they got to deal with the fallout or deal with whatever's going on, but I'm going to give them the truth. And also she encourages them, look, I'm not in jail ministry, so don't do something to go up beside his head or to do something and go to jail. Okay, so they get on Sweet Tea. Simone says that Sweet Tea is struggling. Dr. Jackie said, look like she's NutraSweet now. I call her Sweet and Low. She's having a problem trying to cater to all of Greg's needs. She's wanting to get with me to see if she can find an assistant. Dr. Jackie's like, for what? Simone says that she needs someone to grocery shop, so that she could have dinner ready for when Greg gets off work. And then they get into kind of the older generations, especially when the new generation comes up and they don't have to do the same exact thing that they had to do. Call them spoiled and entitled and all that. Simone says, when I was her age, I had a toddler, had my own private practice, a husband, and still had to make it work. So she says that Sweet Tea gonna have to get her grown-up panties. All right, so the next scene is Dr. Heavenly and Sweet Tea. If I can just use Rodney the voice, baby. Sweet Tea spilled, and I don't think she knew she spilled like she did. But let's get into it. They sit down, and Heavenly gets a shot of Patron just to congratulate, and Dr. Heavenly just wants to catch up with Sweet Tea. How's everything going? Sweet Tea says, wedding plans are rough. She had to really kick the wedding planner in gear to get stuff done. They have to change the venue. They were going to be married on a rooftop, but now they got to go inside due to the weather, which I didn't know you would know. Well, it was 4 days beforehand, so I guess they got the forecast or whatever, and know it's going to rain on the day of the wedding. So that's been an issue for them that she was been working out. She talks. Dr. Heavenly was giving some advice. I know you're getting married. My mama taught me that you need to have your own. And she's always said that on any of her videos, she will be saying that. Even though you see this submissiveness and male worship that you see out of Heavenly, she's no fool. She's no fool. She is not a Lisa off of Real Housewives of Miami. But anyways, so Sweet Tea says, Greg's not really into all that stuff. As far as, I don't want to say independency, but she was talking about life insurance and all this other stuff. I'm like, for real? Now, Sweet Tea, she said, I got to get all that. I said, Sweet Tea, you've been in the Army. You have lived on your own. You are 31. I guess you didn't really think about it at the time, but it's like, lady, you should be kind of ahead, even at 31, at some of the things that you should be doing. Because, in the Army, they teach you a lot of stuff. Just saying. Blah, blah, blah. She says, I have my own money, but Greg insists that he pays for everything. And Heavenly asked her, does he throw it in your face that he pays the bills? And Sweet Tea said, yeah, sometimes. And then the tea starts spilling. She starts saying, I think that Quad was right about a few things. Now, that's two things that I got to just break down. It's like, Quad was right about a few things. And basically, Heavenly says that Sweet Tea is saying the same stuff that Quad was saying. It's about the control. One thing that he was trying to teach her a lesson about the alarm. She didn't set the alarm. So he ended up telling her that the house was robbed, or robbers came into the house and they had guns and all that. And it was just a scare tactic to make sure that she knows to turn the alarm on. Well, Sweet Tea went on and snapped on Greg. Basically like, I'm not your child. That's what you say to a child. I am your wife, blah, 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 blah. So she didn't like all that. So another thing is because how she said Quad was right. So that means that you watched the show and you're a fan of the show. And you knew what to tell Greg in order to get him to pay attention to you. I don't know if he loves you. I don't know. He stayed. He stayed single, legally single, since Quad. But I don't know what he's done thus far. So there was something I did not like about Sweet Tea, and how she said that she had to get demons out of the house. What do you mean? Because you sleeping next to one. That's the part I didn't like about her. For the most part, I guess I do like her. She's not polished yet. So it's like, lady, I don't think you knew what you're really getting into, despite your support group. You're stressed out and all that, but they can't even help you. Interesting. So Dr. Heavenly says, so what's going to happen? Sweet Tea says, I don't know. Well, we're going to get married. We're going to get married and we'll figure it out. Because what she said was, what's going to happen when you guys get married? That's what Dr. Heavenly said. And that's what she said. We'll figure it out. Okay. If you already see what's going on here, the signs are there already showing up. And you haven't even said I do yet. So I'm going to also link another video. I believe Erica De Niro TV, she made a video today about read the Yelp reviews. She's infamous in saying you got to read those Yelp reviews. When people say what they say about these men or women, you might need to be advised and take the advice that's being given and see what shows up in your relationship. All right, so we have a scene with Dr. Simone, Cecil, Miles, and Michael. I think that Simone and Cecil shine when they're with their boys because it's very comical at how they talk to each other, even when they're giving off different, if they are laying into their sons, giving discipline or whatever through their mouths. It's fun. So anyways, they're out to dinner. Michael is on spring break. I think he's about to go back. They were asking how everything's going. They went to Mexico, all that good stuff. Michael is 20 right now. He plays basketball at the school that he's going to, which is a community college. He's earning credits to get to come back to another university to get his bachelor's degree. And he plans to go to law school as of now. Miles, who is 24, their eldest, has been to Howard to Georgia State University, where he is right now, and he's a film and media major, right, as it stands today. And he also lives at home. So Simone asked, anyone has failed the test, and Michael had to give his well, he says what happened to him. He didn't know that he had a test, and he didn't study for it. And then Simone and all them were let down by that. But he said, well, I got a B. So Simone feels like that Miles is just skating through college and not really doing nothing, not for real. And Michael kind of doing the same, but it's not as bad as with Miles. And Simone says that they and their daddy is driving her crazy. I said, wait, what's up, Simone? Something going on over there? Because I secretly don't think that Simone wants to be with Cecil. Just saying. So anyways, she says, well, Cecil was like, how did I get into this? She says, well, you agree with or understand about these boys and what they got going on. And I don't. So Simone asked Michael, what are plans after community college? You coming back up here? Like, yeah. Are you planning to stay in my house? He said, or get an apartment. We're going to give you, well, she said, y'all can give me an apartment. Give you an apartment and you can't keep anything clean? Why would we do that? Da, 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 da. Of course, in the confessional again, Simone was like, well, we coddle them way too much. And they're not going to do anything until they choose to do something. I think around 24, 25 is the time to kind of just, okay, you're on your own. But it's also like, what are you guys teaching them or preparing them to launch out? Because it looks like you're taking care of things and you're getting frustrated, but I would just like to know what the tools that you're doing to prepare them, because they could be spoiled and all that, but that's on you. And Michael gonna tell them that too in just a minute. So Cecil says, well, if we do get an apartment, it could be an investment property. If I think that what they were hinting at, if they do get this apartment, Michael and Miles could live together and do what they need to do instead of being in their home. If Michael comes back to Georgia State, I don't know if they want to live together or not. Who knows? But a lot of things Simone says, me and your father were not on the same team and the same thing. And I forgot the other thing she said. I said, it's those little things that Simone says that just speaks loud to me. Because it's like, Simone, are y'all okay still? Like I said, it just seems like, Simone, are you and Cecil okay? But whatever. Simone says, you guys are just living the entitled life. And she really wants that to change. And then Michael said, thanks for entitling me. I said, now, in my household, you would have got slapped. He did get smart. He did. And Simone gave that look. However, the truth is staring right back at you. They know that they are entitled and spoiled. And I think that you guys got to make some steps to help get them to move forward. Michael, I think, is still okay. Miles needs to go on. He's in his mid-20s. 4 or 5 more years, 5, 6, whenever his birthday is. He's going to be 30. Yeah. Around that time, yeah. Okay, so Dr. Heavenly's at home, and she calls Laura. She is cooking some spaghetti, and she said, you want to help me cook, please? And you got to cook for your man. And I know a lot of women didn't like that. Especially if you want to keep a man, you better know how to cook. She's got those old school ways about her. I can't say what's the right answer, but I just don't think that people need to be maids. Does dinner need to be made for the house or home? Yes. It don't necessarily have to be on the wife, the girlfriend, whatever you're supposed to be. The boyfriend, I think everyone should share their responsibilities. If you don't know how to cook, wash the dishes, prepare stuff, chop stuff up, leave the frozen food out in the morning, alleviate as much on the person that does have to cook just to be a team. So, Dr. Damon comes. Dr. Heavenly wants him. Are you going to cook? Like, no. When you going to cook? You don't cook for me. And Dr. Damon said tomorrow. I don't know if he's going to really do it, but whatever. They start talking about college. Laura asked them, what did they get out of college? Were you drinking? Oh, Dr. Damon said, drinking, but don't you drink. Well, at 18, you're not supposed to anyways. The Dr. Damon said studying was fun. It was kind of comedic, but what they're doing is trying to tell her also in undergrad, have friendships. Don't be getting too serious about a man around that age. And Laura, and they're also talking about FAMU. They don't really want her to go. And Dr. Heavely's still trying to encourage her to go to Spelman, and she's still confused about that because it's like, you guys went away. Why can't I go away? Dr. Damon says, I don't want to be sexist, but really you are sexist. He would have trusted the boys to go away to college more than the girl. He just doesn't trust people, and he would like to be close to her if something does pop off. It's understandable, but at the same time, you got to let people grow. Alora's always been independent. And trying to keep her from harm that you think is going to happen to her, it's not going to work. You got to let her fly and see where she goes. I think, and she's got a strong head on her shoulders, and she'll make it through. So they're talking in their confessional. They said, "Oh, I really want her to stay close." Daddy ends up crying. He really loves his baby girl. All right, so we move on to Eugene. Short scene with the boys. He's corny. He gonna ask the boys, so what's the gossip? Eugene, now you're wanting Quad to not call you certain things, and then you go on to do this. And they said, don't ever say that again. You know what Quad called you last year. All right, so basically he was just asking, I think we should do more guy things. And do you have any more questions that you didn't want to ask in front of your mom? And the only question that they asked was, what's a period? He said, you could ask your mom that, I mean, look, I'm sure they've been curious and just know certain things. I think that they will open up to him. And I really wish I had a Dr. Damon or a Dr. Eugene in my life to talk to me about it. So, boys, whenever you can, just talk to your dad. It's good that your schedule seems to be free, so you're able to spend more time with your boys because they are growing and a lot of stuff is growing and they need you. All right, so Cecil and Simone kind of, they just have a little scene about what's going to happen with the guys, and Cecil going to joke and say that they're going on a party bus into a yoga place. Cecil is nervous about strippers, especially after what happened in Mexico 3 seasons ago. Remember, Damon was getting in trouble for being with the strippers and all that good stuff, so hopefully there's not a repeat with the gentlemen and the strippers. All right, so the pamper party has started. Everyone's supposed to dress up in their lingerie. Most of the ladies are there. Dr. Heavenly's getting us a massage. All of a sudden, Toya puts whipped cream on her, and she's making a lot of noise, and it sounded sexual-ish. Sweet Tea arrives, and she ends up getting pampered. The guys that they have ordered for the evening picks up Letitia, and she gets whatever needs to be done to her. Simone asks, is Greg able to pick you up? And Sweet Tea said that they practiced the other day, so he can do it. Like, oh. And then they got on the subject of Greg being a conservative. Then we flash forward to the party bus with the guys and with the strippers. You got a lot to learn about this gentleman, Sweet Tea. Conservative, okay. All right, so let me get done with the gentlemen. Okay, they start off with drinks. They go on the party bus and they just acting a fool. It was funny. It was very funny. They go to a strip joint. Curtis got rules by Dr. Jackie. Don't touch, even though we seen him touching. Then Jackie was like, in the confessional, you could lose both hands and feet. Love you, Dr. Jackie, but he's already done stuff, and I don't see one hand lost or foot lost. I would like to know, what would you do a second time around? Just asking the questions. All right, so Dr. G tried to invite a stripper to the wedding. What? Stop. We go back to the pamper party, and Sweet Tea has gotten a call from Johnny, the wedding planner. Johnny is also the wedding planner from Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9. If you remember the planner that was suing Candy for working for free, that's him. Let's see. What's happening because they had to change venues is going to be another 13 to 14K. At this point, it's really stressing out Sweet Tea. The sister tries to say, calm down. And then Sweet Tea just snaps. And it looked like they were about to come to blows. So she gets up. She's all hysterical, crying and all this good stuff. I think Toya and what's her name, Phaedra had to console her, and I think it looked like production had to too. They go to the bathroom. Um, so there's an intermission. At this point, Sweet Tea insists they end up apologizing. She said, I'm just blowing up. I'm just stressed out. Out in the event area, Dr. Heavenly's like, I don't think that they're ready. It was only a matter of time before she started blowing up. And they ask her, how do you know that she's not ready? Because she started telling me, haven't she been talking to you guys? But she's been saying that, that he's controlling and all that. Did she say that? Simone said, yes, I know. I'm sure that she said that. And we had the beautiful beam footage to see that she did say that. So all the while, the maid of honor is hearing it, and I've gotten word that behind the scenes, Jasmine told Sweet Tea, and the Sweet Tea is going to do something different in response to Dr. Heavenly saying that. I'll have a lot more to say next week if you saw the preview. Next thing you know, Phaedra gets a notification on her text saying, I'm outside. Who's outside? Phaedra goes to the door, and it is Quad. She brings her inside. Quad says, hey. Heavenly makes this laugh, which I would have too. And Toya loses it. Who invited her? Quad gives a gift to Sweet Tea, which I didn't see anyone else give her a gift. I didn't see that at all. Maybe they gave it for the engagement party. Maybe that. So anyway, so she comes in. Quad introduces herself to Sweet Tea and her cousin. Well, Phaedra does it. And then Sweet Tea asks Quad to sit right by her. And Toya's like, sit by her. Oh. So they have a little small chat, and Quad says, I don't have any animosity. She came in peace. So then Toya texts Sweet Tea, like, I don't know what's going on. But Sweet Tea, you're having somebody you've never met before, And you even said the other day that you didn't want anyone mentioning Quad, and now she your BFF. I mean, she has a point. But then Sweet Tea's like, well, I'm okay at this point, I really think that Sweet Tea was fanning out. She finally got to meet one of the other stars of Married to Medicine. What y'all think? So anyways, well, Sweet Tea's like, everything's okay, it's my event. And Toya said, no, it's my event. I'm the one that's giving you this event. Now, remember in the beginning when Toya said that her and Phaedra were throwing this party? Really, Toya, it wasn't. Unless you came up with everything and just asked her to be your co-person, but Phaedra was also supposed to help you out. So anyway, she said, you know what? This is not about Quad, and we're not trying to figure out where you guys fit in relationship. All you got, Phaedra, you need to walk your friend out. It was revealed that Phaedra did invite her. So Phaedra walks her out. Oh, well, Quad asks Sweet Tea, do you want me to leave? And then Sweet Tea says, I think it's best that you go. She didn't let her go. But she had pressure from Toya to do it. I'm going to give my whole feedback on everything in just a minute. So Phaedra walks her out to the door. And then she comes back and Toya says, I'm pissed at you. And Phaedra, oh, don't be pissed at me. If you invited her to this wedding, it's going to be something, for real. I think Toya meant it. I think a beef is brewing between Phaedra and Toya, and I'm glad. And hopefully she calls her out on stuff. So here's my thing. I think the whole scene was great for television. In real life, I would be boxing. And it looks like Quad is getting the most blame for it. Well, she shouldn't have showed up. Well, guess who invited her? Phaedra. Phaedra's not getting the heat, per normal, or per usual. Why? And then I think about Phaedra was upset when Kenya threw her that divorce party in season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So why would you turn around and do this to another woman? You see the hypocrisies? I've been saying it since episode 1. The stuff that a lot of y'all have come up as to why Phaedra mad and what Phaedra has said that she's mad at Candy about and what Kenya did. Why would she turn around and do that? We can say it's for TV, but at the same time, you're still playing with this woman's life. So Phaedra gets to body shame her, gets to talk about her behind her back, and then pulls this stunt. Interesting. And I'm going to see next week what actually happens to Phaedra, if anything happens to her, because I'm trying to understand that. I got to lay into Phaedra every episode because I'm calling out every hypocrisy and everything that she does that y'all will crucify another person for. That's not cool. That's not cool because y'all still say that Kenya was not right for what she did for that divorce party. But for her, she's making great TV. That's not cool. And I'm going to call y'all out about that too. I think it was great TV. I think for Quad to make her entrance back into the group, I'm glad because this is her domain. This is not Sweet T's domain. And it looks like Toya's trying to push her out of the group. Sorry. Sweet T's not polished. Sorry. That's it I do have. But please tell me your thoughts. You know, from a moral side, there's some trifling heifers. For entertainment side, cool. Go ahead and do it. You know, that was just brilliant, y'all. It was really brilliant to throw off. But again, let's make sure if you're going to hold Quad accountable, hold Phaedra accountable. That's all I do have. Please like this video, give me your comments, share this video, and also subscribe. Until the next one, peace.